Greetings. I am Taven of a Mind Transformed, and this is Manna for Your Journey. Growing up, one of my favorite movies, and even still today, was the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder playing Willy Wonka. I always liked that version of the movie. It's just one of those things, you watch something as a kid, then when you watch it, you get older. It had a lot of slow parts. The action really picks up when they get to the Chocolate Factory, but I know they had to set up the rest of the movie. Anyway, love that movie. One of my favorite movies. As we're talking about offense, I realized at the end when Willy Wonka was not going to give Charlie the prize, which he only thought at the time was a lifetime supply of chocolate, because he had taken the fizzy Lipton drink, he had touched the ceiling, he and Grandpa Joe. Willy Wonka said it would have to be sterilized, and then Willy Wonka at the end got downright indignant when he said, "Good day, sir. I said good day." You know, that's been memed just all out. That's just memed repeatedly over the years. And in that moment, Grandpa Joe whispers to Charlie if the bad guy of the movie, Slugworth, wanted an everlasting gobstopper, he would get one, indicating that Charlie should give his everlasting gobstopper to Slugworth, who was the competition. Charlie, though, turns around in that moment and gives the gobstopper back. And then Willy Wonka says, even in the midst of this, something to this effect, a good deed was done. And in that moment, Charlie received a life-transforming, generation-transforming, lineage-transforming blessing. The lifetime supply of chocolate wasn't even a goal. He was given the entire chocolate factory to run, a place for his entire family to come work. His mom wasn't going to have to go to work every day. He was going to be able to come. He could provide for his family. And he had a chocolate factory that generated a lot of income, because in that world, it was the worldwide supply of chocolate that everybody wanted. He received a generational transforming, lineage transforming blessing because he didn't get offended and he didn't retaliate. Even Grandpa Joe failed the test. Willy Wonka was testing them. Grandpa Joe failed the test. He wanted to give away the everlasting gobstopper. He wanted to retaliate against the way he was treated by Willy Wonka because he was offended. But Charlie chose the right path. He passed the test, and he received something far greater than he ever would have imagined. Joseph is a similar story in that he was sold as a slave to Egypt by his brothers. And his first test comes when he is serving God with everything he has, and he's propositioned by Potiphar's wife. He turns it down. He does the right thing. He does what God would call a man to do. That is not his wife. He did not try to sleep with her. He did not pursue her. Even though she pursued him repeatedly over time, she tried to wear him down. And in that moment they were alone, she tried to forcefully take him. It says she grabbed hold of him, so he ran and left his cloak. And then she lied, and he was thrown in prison. It's a perfect time for him to be offended. He could be offended by her, offended that everybody believed Potiphar, offended that God allowed him to go to prison. How dare God allow him to be sold into slavery, and then how dare God have him put into prison when he was just following what God told him to do. You ever been upset with God? Offended about what God allowed to happen in your life, or maybe what God didn't allow to happen? Yet we don't see that from Joseph at all. At no point does he curse God. At no point does he complain against Potiphar or his wife or the system, or it's unjust. Look how unfairly I've been treated. He doesn't do any of that. He just continues to draw close to God and continue to serve God. And because Joseph was able to endure and pass that test, he wasn't offended. He didn't want to retaliate. He received also a life-transforming, lineage-transforming blessing. He was also able to take care of his family and their children, and because of him, the children of Israel were blessed for 11 generations. That's the power of not being offended, nor wanting to retaliate. If you can pass that test of offense and retaliation, God can bless you down to 10 and 11 generations. Because sometimes the test of offense is not just for you. It's for your children's children and their children's children. It's for those family members that are attached to you, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, cousins, nieces and nephews. If you can pass that test of not being offended, you too can put yourself in a position to relieve a life-transforming blessing. But you can't give in to offense. Do the right thing even when you feel mistreated. Cling to God despite the situation and the circumstances. Don't retaliate. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I shall repay. When you pass the test of offense, watch how seasons unlocked, things shift in your life, and God opens doors that you never dreamed he could open. Oh, that's all I have for you today. Again, my name is Tabin of A Mind Transformed. Be blessed.